Ring. Hi, it's me coming right back at you with another review for. I've been on a VHS, whatever, the last three, gosh, four, no wait, I don't know. The last several reviews were movies I saw exclusively on VHS, and I own the VHSs for. This one I'm coming at you with the VHS I bought probably a long time ago, which has just been waiting, sitting in a pile waiting to be watched. Which is, of course, I think a friend of mine I think I might have seen some of this back in the day, but I don't think I ever saw it all. I just wasn't too interested in it, but I think a friend of mine was, which is 976 Evil, directed, which I think is really weird, by Robert Englund, like that matters. I don't know, I just think it's really weird. This I got at a mom and pop video store that's actually still open in Wisconsin for a whopping 75 cents. Probably over 5 years ago. And just, who wants to watch VHS? So it never got watched, but I got into a VHS watching binge, so I watched it. And again, I don't know if this is the only movie that's directed by Robert Englund. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. He doesn't do a cameo or anything like that. I don't know if he does a voice. It seems like I heard his voice at one point. I don't know, but I just rewatched this within the last week, and it's like 105 minutes, and I wanted to review this after I did the Trilogy of Terror reviews, which were the last videos that were uploaded, because this reminds me of like a 20 or 30 minute long story stretched out like three times, like over, 3 times its running time. It feels like a story that should be just a 25-minute Twilight Zone episode or whatever, or an episode of Trilogy of Terror. Is extremely boring to me, having just watched this within the last week. Sorry all you 976 Evil fans, this is just my opinion. It doesn't mean the movie sucks, it doesn't mean anything. If you like it, it doesn't mean that you're wrong. I'm not threatening your liking of the movie, it's just my particular opinion. People's opinions vary. And in regards to art and movies and music and stuff, in my opinion, there's no right or wrong answer. It's a matter of just, you either like something or you don't. But in this particular case, I do not like 976 Evil. It's just, like I say, it's a 25-minute, 20-minute story stretched out into 105 minutes. It's a complete and utter bore. First of all, the movie takes place around this grungy, the whole movie is just grungy as all shit. And I personally, I'm not a fan of the city or grunge or this movie seems like it takes place in a bathroom most of the time with this horrible just graffiti, and no one's cleaned it for 10 years, and it's just these bullies hang out in this bathroom where they take students' money, lunch money. It's just like, the whole movie is gritty, grimy, and just shit. The kind of environments I like in movies are from Friday the 13th, 1980, or Sleepaway Camp, where it's just freaking in the country, and it's just whatever, it's wooded, it's lakes, it's, even if it's a rundown camp, it's still a lot more, I just like that environment more than some grungy old fucking, bathroom with, shit and piss and graffiti all over the place. So even when they're not in the bathroom, which seems like is most often the case, even wherever they are, it's just grungy shit. This guy, this nerd kid who's like who turns into this evil guy, he's got this horrible mom. It's just like, Norman Bates situation. This guy's a nerd. And he's got some like stepbrother who lives across the street, and they have this completely stupid tube set up from a bank where he sends them messages via compressed air sending messages, and the messages aren't even worth sending. It's like, hi, how you doing? Or I see you. It's just like, I'm glad we built this, big, tube system and compressed air message system just to say like, to write that down on a piece of yellow paper or whatever. But this movie is completely, to me, uninteresting. I've probably said it before in reviews of Exorcist and shit, that I'm particularly not really interested in like demonic shit. I'm more of just a human physical killer, like, Leatherface or Jason Voorhees or, Angela Baker or something like that. Something that's just like physical, and it's because I'm not a believer in heaven and hell and God and devil and all that stuff. So to me, it's just like, I guess that's why I don't go in for this like supernatural shit so much, because I'm more of a tactile, physical kind of fellow myself, you know. So that's obviously the movie lose points for that, but it's not only that. I mean, movies like The Exorcist, which I'd give 4 stars and have given 4 stars when me and Matt have reviewed it, have the same premise where it's supernatural, but it's still a fantastic movie. So I mean, it's just, I don't like this movie because I don't like this movie. I think the movie's boring. It does feature this principal or whatever, whoever this principal is of this guy's is like super hot. It's just like wow, and it's just stupid how towards the end of the movie her and this reporter guy get together, and it's just like, oh, give me a break. It's just so stupid, but she's great, and we get to see her more. That's a bad picture of her. I was gonna say show her here, but that's not a really, I don't know. I'm not gonna show that. It's really not a good picture of her. This movie's just, I don't know. It's just mostly, I don't know what to say. It doesn't interest me. And again, it's just like a short story that's stretched out into feature length. That's how it feels to me. And I was just like, and what's ironic is it's like special home video version includes previously unreleased footage. Like, in my opinion, you should have just left it unreleased, because in this case, more is not more. It's like more is too much. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. But you have this character who I think would end up being in a couple of years later in Freddy's Dead as that one kind of not so feminine as she's more like sexy in this movie, if it is her, I think it's her, than she is in that movie. She's the one from Freddy's Dead who was like that one guy's daughter, like, your daddy's home. I just picture her in this white long t-shirt from that movie, but I think it's her in this movie who's like, the girl is just like, yeah. Then there's this one weird scene where there's this like really scrawny, skinny girl that's hanging around in this one, projection booth or whatever, where all these punk asshole bastards are constantly gambling and shit. And towards the end of the movie, she like starts doing this strip tease, and it's like, takes off her shirt and there's like a bra on or something, and there's like nothing there for a bra to be on, and it's just like, why did they choose like this like really really small and just really awkward looking girl for this scene where she starts to do a striptease? And I think the bad devil guy shows up. The movie starts with like this guy being blown up by a frickin' phone booth. It's not really clear. I mean, there's basically this outfit, this card, find out your horror scope, and it's 97. I think I know the number, 976 evil to find out your horror scope, and it's basically like a satanic devil guy who, it's really not clear, what the hell's going on, and it's not clear to me. Maybe I missed something or I fell asleep, but it's not clear to me why this. When other people that call seem to be blown up by the phone booth, why this one nerd gets possessed and like made into a macho devil guy? I don't quite understand why his situation is different than everyone else's, but it could very well be something that I missed. I'd say probably the most interesting character is the guy who I think was from, The Howling and the guy who was in Inner Space and stuff, the guy that Joe Dante always uses. I think it's that guy who was the guy that this reporter goes to visit at the, I always want to say 976 Evil. The place where the actual phone number is, where the voice machine is at and whatever. And this guy does a clever ruse to pretend like he turned the system off and it's antiquated and it doesn't work anymore. And when in fact we find out at the end of the movie that it is in fact operating, and this guy's like maybe it's the devil himself, maybe it's the devil's this devil's elf. I'm just trying to, the devil's helper or whatever. But so the most interesting character is that one guy who I'm afraid I don't know the name of, but the guy from Howling who plays that one character where he takes a bullet out of his head. He's like, that guy who shows up, I think, every now and then, or in Joe Dante movies, and like I say, Inner Space is that cowboy or whatever. But I'm pretty sure it's him who's like the most, the only, like, in my opinion, on-screen presence that has any on-screen presence and is even fun to watch. And he, if he would have been in it more, the movie would have been not so horrible. But like I say, it's just there's nothing, in my opinion, there's nothing redeeming about this movie. Even the like there's two women in them, two girls in the movie, and even they are just like, oh gosh. And there's nothing redeeming about this movie in my opinion. Yet again, for all you 976 Evil fans, I'm not saying for 1 minute that you shouldn't like it. There might very well be some people out there who this movie is their favorite movie. I'm not going to say get a life, I'm not going to say grow up, I'm going to say good for you, I'm glad you have a passion. But for me, it's not, it's just I don't like it. So we're going to go probably 1/2 of a star for 976 Evil. It's just, I can't think of anything about it that I even like, except for, like I say, the couple scenes. It might be just one scene, and then at the end he shows up again, I think, with that one guy from Joe Dante movies, who's actually fun to watch, and actually brings some interesting, screen presence to the printed word as far as the script goes, and he actually is an interesting actor to watch. So I think that's going to be my review of 976 Evil. I can't remember if it seems to me like there's a sequel to this, which I can't believe would be the case. 976 equal 2, 976 Evil, I should say, 2, I think. Don't quote me, but I don't know. But, yeah. Not a big fan of this movie. Thank you very much for watching.